Do you just feel like there's a lot of things that you don't know about playing Black Ops 6? Well, all them YouTubers end up telling you the same exact thing every video. Get a better class setup, change this setting. You do it and you still get smoked up. Well, you done clicked on the right video because I'm gonna share 5 untold tips that I wish I knew, that I wish I had somebody to tell me back when I first started playing Call of Duty. And by watching this video, you will improve faster than 90% of COD players. There is one thing that is completely overlooked more than anything else in this game, and that is people don't understand how important the minimap actually is. Well, let me learn you something real quick. The minimap is going to determine everything. That's how important it is. Honestly, the minimap is more important than having good aim, good movement, good positioning, even though positioning kind of does play into map awareness. But you got to actually have map awareness to have good positioning. So when you look up at the map, you want to be looking for the spawns. You want to be looking at where your teammates are, where they looking at. That's really what map awareness is, just knowing how to look at the teammates instead of just looking at them for no reason. You want to look at what they're doing, where are they positioned, where are they facing, what areas and lanes are they watching. After I learned the importance of the minimap, I started dropping way more nukes. I learned that if you just have good map awareness, you can get a nuke without having good aim. Like the video I posted when I was watching one of my gameplays with y'all on and breaking down how I got a nuke in a regular lobby, no reverse boosting. You can notice my aim was very off. I was not used to the gun I was using, but I still managed to secure a nuke because I knew how to play and I knew how to position myself in certain ways to where I can take on a gunfight head on. That's the thing, when you got good map awareness, you can easily pick your fights. And I said to myself, I'm not gonna take on fights straight on because I knew my aim was lacking and I knew I probably was gonna die. So my strategy in that video was to focus on my position and how I moved. And that's what got me my nuke. If I was just relying mostly on gun game and aim and all that stuff when my aim was not good around that time, I'm pretty sure that was my first game on too. That's another reason why my aim was lacking. If I was just thinking about that, then I would have not got that nuke. That video would have never been made probably. I probably would have had to get a whole separate gameplay just to drop a nuke and then everything would have just been messed up. Like I said in one of my previous videos, Call of Duty is mainly psychological. It mainly is in your brain, in your mind. Anybody can have good aim, but if they don't know how to position themselves and play correctly, then they won't succeed. Like shooting first is also something that's very crucial when it comes to playing Call of Duty. People think, okay, so shooting first only applies to Warzone, or it applies to multiplayer too, even though you only die in like 2 seconds. But all of that could be messed up. Say if the opponent is not hitting his shots and you hit your shots, he can still smoke you if he shoot first. Which is why the next thing I wish I knew way back then is that shooting with the bumpers is faster than shooting with the triggers. When you shoot with the bumpers, it's a button. It's one click and it's active. But when you shoot with the triggers, you gotta press all the way down before it can get active, and it causes you to shoot slower. Now you might be like, oh, that's only like 2 milliseconds. Those 2 milliseconds are very important when it comes to Call of Duty because Call of Duty is a game of timing. If you plan on triggers and then you eventually switch over to bumpers, of course it's gonna feel weird at first, but I say after like a week, not even, probably after like 3 days, you're gonna start to get the hang of it, get the feel of it, and you will notice you will start winning a lot more gunfights because you are starting to shoot more faster and first. Because I know at least 90% of Call of Duty players who play on controller are shooting with the triggers. You could probably look it up on Google. It's probably higher than that, to be honest. Most people who use the bumpers usually are competitive players, like a pro player or somebody like that. But most people want to get better, but they don't have the bumpers active. That's another reason why keyboard and mouse players often win against controller players, because they have mouse clickers. They can just click the button one time and they're aiming and shooting. You can't say it's because they aim. We have the aiming advantage. We have aim assist, but they just shoot a lot faster and also have way better movement. If I just knew to shoot with the bumpers back then, I could have been dropped my first nuke. I could have been went to COD champs. I could have been better overall, which means I would have started this YouTube channel a lot earlier and I would have been making tips and tricks a lot earlier. And then a lot of y'all would start to get better a lot earlier too. Everything is a cause and effect. Cause and effect is why you die so much in Call of Duty. Because you wanted to push up and play fast, you end up dying. Because you wanted to play slow and not push up that much, you didn't get your nuke. The game ended when you was 3 off, which is why you got to understand there is a time to push and a time to play slow and campy, or as I like to say, a time to start tactically waiting. The truth is, there is no universal way to playing Call of Duty. I know in some of my videos I may preach that, okay, you gotta play slow and do all this, but I'm just saying that because most of the players, when they play slow, they will start to do a lot better and start dropping nukes. But that's not for everybody. I see some of y'all in my comment section saying, oh, I can't play slow. That's because playing slow is not for you. Maybe you were meant to play fast. I can't determine how you play. That's why there's no universal way to play Call of Duty. And honestly, Even still, when you playing slow, you gotta know when to push. You can't just camp the whole game and drop a nuke. Now it's possible. I've even done that. I've dropped a nuke with just camping the whole game, but that doesn't work like that every time. You're gonna have to push sometimes, whether that be at the start of your streak and you just trying to get to like a 15 kill streak, and then that's when you slow down, or that be towards when you get a harp or something. Either way, you should not play slow the whole entire streak or the whole entire game. And I had to learn this the hard way. You know how many times a game ended when I was like one off a nuke? I'm pretty sure I got a video of me playing Modern Warfare 3 on this channel right now. Last year, the game ended, I was like one off a nuke, or it was like my partner or somebody. They was one off a nuke, the game ended. It's the worst feeling ever. I'd rather have just gotten smoked one off a nuke. But the game ended, bro. The game ended because I decided I was gonna play too slow. But at the same time, when you play too fast, you get smoked because you start making a lot of mistakes. So you gotta know when it's time to do each of those play styles. Like, here's some examples. Once you get the harp, you should start playing fast. There's no reason why you should start playing slow when you have a harp up. You know where all the enemies are. Unless one of them got ghost, then you might have to play slow because it'd be a little bit weird when they're on the map with ghost and the harp's up. Unlike Cold War, where the harp be up and everybody's a triangle, you can see everybody's actions instead of it being like a dot. That's that Modern Warfare stuff. This is why Black Ops Cold War is better than BO6. As a matter of fact, that brings me to my next tip. I almost let it fly over my head. You want to get as many kills as possible with the harp up. This is gonna change your game completely. This is how you get your first nuke, to be honest. Cause think about it, you get a harp at like 12, 13 kill streak. So if you manage to get as many kills possible with it up, imagine what your streak gonna be after the harp has faded. Usually a game contains 12 individuals, 6 on each team, which means if you activate the harp and get 6 kills, meaning that you done swiped a whole team. You had like 18, 19 kill streak. Now, say you swiped a team again. You now at like a 24, 25 kill streak. And them last 6 kills, now you start playing slower. Unless you got more time with the harp up, then you just swipe their team again. Now you got a nuke. You can easily do this by spawn trapping them. If you could just sit in a spawn without them flipping, of course you're gonna be able to get 6, 12 kills, 18 kills. It is very much possible. That's why you want to get as many kills with the harp up as possible. This was something I had to work on, because even with the harp up, I was afraid to push because, you know, things get a certain way and you don't really want to do that. But I had to really sit down and notice that this was one of my errors, one of my flaws, and I had to perfect it. Which brings me to the last and final tip on this list. You need to figure out what you're worst at and focus on improving that. This is probably the most useful trick you can use if you are looking to improve at Black Ops 6 very quickly. Like, say you got everything else down, you got the map awareness down, you got your movement down, but you just can't aim for nothing. You focus on that, and then eventually, once you got good aim, your eyes might open up to a new flaw of yours, and then you repeat the same process with that. You focus on that, get good at that, and then you just keep going until you feel like you ain't got no more flaws. But sometimes you got to be willing to take some failure. You got to be willing to look for the failure in things. The most successful people on this planet, they looked for the failure in things instead of just looking for the success. You got to be looking for the flaws, because once you see a flaw, it just opens up a blind spot for you. Like, here's a metaphor. For example, when I was just starting my YouTube journey, I posted like 100 videos before I can get like 200 subs. But it took me to see a failure for me to change things up. Once I saw my failure, I improved on it. I was not the best at creating thumbnails. Now I bet right now I can go be somebody's personal thumbnail designer and get them thousands and thousands of views, because I sat down, figured out the flaw, and I perfected it. That's what you need to do with COD, and that's what you need to do in life. Just don't be afraid of the failure. I know it may be like, oh, I don't really want to go through that, I just want to get the success right away, but there is no success without failure. They work hand to hand, just like there is no good without evil. I believe everything has a polar opposite to it. Now just take that advice and apply it to your gameplay, and you will improve, I promise. Just by applying everything in this video, you will start to learn things a lot quicker. You will find yourself improving at Black Ops 6 very, very, very quickly. Back in the day, I actually improved quickly, but just imagine how much quicker I would have improved if I knew this stuff. I didn't know this stuff when I first started. So if you just starting COD, or you're thinking about starting COD, apply this stuff. Apply this stuff when you first get in there, especially that last tip, because this is going to put you ahead of at least 80% of people who play this game, because I guarantee they probably don't know this stuff. Your KD will start to rise, and especially if you are a new player, with not that many stats on your record, your KD gonna boost significantly. You might even be able to get your first nuke within like the first month of you playing. Imagine saying that. Oh yeah, I just started playing COD and you just sitting there with a nuke calling card right there. There's people who've been playing Call of Duty for like 2 years and they still have yet to get their first nuke. So imagine if you got your first nuke and you just started out. That's a flex. But it's also gonna motivate people to be like, okay, we gotta start going harder. Because when I started using this stuff, I improved so fast, it was unbelievable. People started thinking I was hacking. I remember my partner, I was dropping a whole bunch of nukes. This was on Cold War. Out of nowhere, I just started dropping double nukes. I just started dropping a bunch of nukes. He was like, hold on, let me see that class setup you using. He was like, I gotta make sure you ain't hacking. All because I started applying some of this stuff into my games. People gonna start to think you hacking because it just, this random skill came out of nowhere. Last week it was just getting dropped off. Now you dropping nukes? That don't make no sense. I remember dropping a nuke for the first time ever, all because I applied this stuff right here. I was yelling. I was so surprised. I was like, ain't no way, bro. I really just got a nuke just from playing a certain way. I'm like, okay, I'm finna start playing like this all the time then. And ever since then, I just continue getting better and better and better every time. And now look at us now. We here sharing info to others. All because I found something that worked and I did it over and over again. Which in reality, that's why my YouTube channel going up. That whole year, it took me 1 year to get 1,000 subscribers. Then eventually I figured out what worked and I did it over and over again every single day. And I got 1,000 in only 1 month. So if you're feeling down and you feel like you can't find a way to success, you just keep failing, keep trying new methods, keep trying new ways until eventually one works and stick with it. And once you do that, you're gonna take off. But if you enjoyed this video right here and would like to see more Black Ops 6 tips and tricks like this one, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post every single day. Every single day I post a new video. Sometimes y'all might get a double upload though. So imagine every day you just learning something new about Black Ops 6. That's great. That means 30 videos a month. You know how many things you're gonna learn in a month from this? You're gonna be so good at the game, you probably won't even have to watch the tips and tricks no more. You just play the game and you good. Let me know some ideas down in the comment section below of some things y'all would like to see, some things y'all would like to learn, any questions y'all got on the game and how to get better. Put them down in the comment section below. I'm here to help everybody out. Or if you're interested in how you can always shoot first in every gunfight, then click on this video right here.